Ferdinand.
Huh? Ah, Petra. Is there something I can help you with?
No, I am not needing help. I was just thinking that you look lonely.
He should be. He's been benched.
Lonely? In wartime? Hardly. I am too busy trying to survive to feel lonely. But once we have survived, what will you do with yourself, Petra? Return to your home? Edelgard said she would like you to ascend the throne in Brigid, to ensure good relations between the nations.
Yes. My plan is to be returning home. But if Brigid and Fódlan can be friendly, I will be able to have visits whenever I choose. Maybe it is even possible for me to be living in Fódlan.
Is that gonna work? I don't know if the people of Brigid would like that.
Live in Fódlan? Do you not want to go back to your homeland?
I do have the hope of returning one day. But Fódlan is also like a homeland to me now. I came to Fódlan 9 years ago. I have been living half of my life here.
Yeah, I guess so.
My family is living in Brigid, but in Fódlan, I have new family and new friends.
New family? I am glad to hear you feel that way about us, Petra. In that case, we will have to make sure that none of us die. We do not want to lose anyone in the family.
Yes, we will be winning, and you will not be dying.
Ha! Do not worry. I do not intend to die. I have some things to do when the war is over.
Like get locked up.
Things?
Yes, you and I can be the link between Fódlan and Brigid.
Oh.
Okay, I have to confess, I fibbed a little. About not being lonely. When this war ends, I will be quite lonely indeed. If you go back to Brigid.
Oh, Ferdinand, you sop.
Is that a truth?
Wow, look at how that blush changes her tattoo as well. That's a really interesting look. I think this is the first time we've seen Petra blush, actually.
I have just made a decision. I will work as an ambassador, improving relations between our people. Whether you are in Brigid or Fódlan, I will be there too. Then both places can move forward together in eternal friendship. We ought to join forces and make that a reality. Do you not agree?
You have my gratitude, Ferdinand. All of it. I have loneliness just like you. But your words gave me great happiness. Please do what you are saying, and be a bridge for Fódlan and Brigid.
Yeah.
You can count on me. We will keep at it, and one day...
Yes, one day, we will be seeing that future.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay. So that's Ferdinand and Petra. Now let's have Ferdinand and Mercedes B+.
You know, stepping in to prevent extortion, that was quite brave of you.
What? Oh, you're talking about that time in town. I wouldn't say I did anything brave, really. I just asked what was going on.
No need to be humble. Helping the weak is precisely what a virtuous noble does.
I don't think what I did is quite the same thing.
Probably
What
not.
do you mean by that?
The point I was trying to make is that some things in this world can't be bought or sold with money.
Some things you need to barter and have integrity for.
I think I let myself get a little too worked up, though. It's just, when I saw it happening, it reminded me of my own past.
Your past? You were originally a daughter of House Bartels, a minor noble family, I heard. You abandoned your title, and now you live as a commoner. Is there more to the story? Pray tell.
Pray tell.
Life was becoming difficult for us, so my mother and I fled from House Bartels. We found refuge in a small church in Fargus and lived there for a few years. A man appeared one day and said that he wanted to adopt me. It was obvious that he only cared about my bloodline and crest. The priest refused to let me go, but the man used his money to overwhelm the church. In the end, I had no choice but to leave with him.
So that's why she hates money, because she's basically... She feels like she was sold to this dude.
That soldier we saw? I guess he just reminded me of my adoptive father.
The man who exploited you so that he could join the nobility. Yes, I understand. But I must confess, that part of the story confuses me. There is nothing to gain from having a noble title.
Oh, I don't know about that, Ferdinand.
What's so funny?
I never thought I'd hear you question the value of nobility, Ferdinand.
Yeah, him and Lorenz.
Oh, well, that is not quite what I meant. Using someone else to obtain high status, with no effort and no accomplishment? Certainly you can obtain a title like that, but it hardly makes you a noble.
No, it's fine. People don't care. They see the title and they're like, oh, you're a noble, cool. It's like buying a piece of land in the UK, in Scotland, and then suddenly you're a lord.
I completely agree.
By the same token, although you are legally a commoner, in your heart, you are a proud and virtuous noble. That is what I think, at any rate.
B+. Right. Ferdinand and Lorenz. Only got a B with him. Interesting.
That reminds me, Ferdinand. I wonder if a certain rumor has already reached your ears.
I suspect I know what you are referring to. A certain noble who caused a stir at one of the local taverns, correct? For someone of status to make such a scene. What a disgrace.
I thought just the same. A noble ought to hold himself to a higher standard.
The real Pie Master asks, is it that simple? You rent a highway, are you now a lord? There's some weird process behind it, but essentially what you do is you buy a patch of land in Scotland. It's a specific way with how Scottish Highlands work and what that means in terms of, you know, titles and everything. But I think in theory, if you own a piece of land in a certain area, you are officially a lord by the customs of the UK. There's all sorts of weird laws and legal things that say this thing. It's like, apparently you're not allowed to eat swans because they are supposedly the queen's animal, so only the queen's allowed to eat swan. There's all kind of weird stuff like that, so it's one of those things, yeah.
It is hardly appropriate to drink and mingle with a tavern full of commoners.
Oh, that is not quite what I meant. I do not object to a noble patronizing their local establishments. In fact, I would say such excursions have value.
Is that so? I would be very curious to hear what value you mean exactly.
You get to flaunt your extravagant costumes and outfits.
But allow me first to venture a guess. Is it that you suppose it is proper for a noble to bolster a town's wealth with his patronage?
Yep.
If that is your thinking, then I would counter that whatever one adds to a merchant's coffers seldom makes it to the pockets of the townsfolk. I think that if a noble wishes to use his resources to ease the burdens of the commoners, he ought to go about town and spend it more directly.
Or just give them the money.
That is wonderfully insightful, Lawrence. Albeit not what I had in mind. What I meant was this. We can benefit from crossing the threshold and learning more about regular folk.
Yes, I hear you are lacking bread. Perhaps you would like some cake instead.
We scarcely understand the reality of their lives. In turn, they do not know about us. I have heard that some believe we have horns growing from our heads.
They're not 100% off.
It is an embarrassing and potentially perilous state of affairs.
You are quite right. In fact, that reminds me of something a boy once said to me when I visited a village on my family's territory. He actually asked me if I had a tail. Hilarious.
Well, he was probably like, huh, that's an interesting hairstyle. I wonder if the carpet matches the drapes.
We all need a laugh now and then. As a man of status, I feel it is my calling to right the world's wrongs. But there's only so much I can do alone. Working in tandem, though, you and I could make tremendous accomplishments.
My sentiments exactly. Together we could achieve a great deal. Though the circumstances of birth may have placed one of us in the Empire and the other in the Alliance, we can still aim for a brighter future together.
But we're working together. I wonder if these guys can get a B support before going to war.
Yes, precisely. Together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. By the way, Lawrence, do you have a tail?
Yes, I do. Alright. Ferdinand and Marianne. C? C minus? C plus? C. Next one will be C plus.
Ah, Marianne. Praying to the goddess?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So persistent in your devotion. I quite admire that about you.
Oh, no. It's not like that.
No need for false modesty. I hardly know anyone with more piety.
I need to be going.
You're making me
Wait a
uncomfortable.
moment.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have a suggestion. I have been meaning to tell you about it for a while. Have you ever considered projecting more confidence?
I wonder.
Your every word is laden with pessimism and devoid of enthusiasm.
Have you just tried being happy, Marianne?
To gain the trust of commoners, you must appear self-assured at all times.
I have no need to earn the trust of the common people as a noble. All I want is to live a quiet life, and to not be a bother to anyone. I dare not hope for anything beyond that.
But you are the only daughter of the esteemed Margrave Edmund.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what you hope for, you must concede that you have inherited certain responsibilities by virtue of your birth.
Yeah, but we can leave all that behind. We've just seen Mercedes do it.
If that's the case, then I don't care to be a responsible person. Farewell.
One would think she does not wish to be a noble.
She doesn't. But then she's got different reasons for that, so... Alright, so it's level C. Okay, so that's Ferdinand's done. Let's go with Linhart and Annette.
I guess taking them all up in one go is a bad idea.
Annette, are you okay with all those boxes?
Linhart! Hi, I'm so glad you're here.
Take some of these boxes off
I
me.
don't know if I'll be able to handle all these. I thought I may as well get it over with, so I decided to carry them all at once. Big mistake.
Smart thinking. Do it all at once. That's what they say, right? Work smart, not hard. I think you've got it from here, so I'm off to take a nap. Good luck.
But maybe you could help. Nope, gone. It's fine. It is fine. Just a little further to my quarters. I've got this. I'll just...
Crash bang.
Huh?
Yep,
They
there we
didn't
go.
fall.
Oh, did you catch
It was
them?
almost pretty bad.
Linhart, I thought you had an important nap to get to.
I'd call it insomnia, but I suppose it was really just a guilty conscience. I came to see if you needed help. And sure enough, here you are, about to tip all the boxes on the floor.
Thanks. Though it may have been best if you had just chipped in from the start.
Yes, it would have.
Huh? But it was your job. Why would I step in? You clearly had things handled.
Then why help me at all?
If the boxes had fallen just now, everyone would have had to help tidy them up anyway. If anything broke, more boxes would need to be carried. And if all of that came to pass, then there'd be noise and no chance of my taking a nap.
Depends on where you take the nap, doesn't it?
Huh. But if you had helped me from the start, there would have been no danger of anything being dropped at all.
Extremely correct.
Correct. But there was no danger yet, and so there was no need for my help. So I left you to it. Try carrying one box at a time instead of straining to do it all at once. Work smart, not hard, as they say. All right, well, I think you've got it from here, so I'm off. Good luck.
Wow. He's an asshole.
After all that, he's not gonna help me.
Oh, boy. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Alright, and we've got Caspar. Caspar and Ash.
Hey Ash, what's with all the noise? Did something happen?
Oh yeah, it's just Annette dropping boxes. Don't worry about it.
I only just heard myself. Looks like a thief got into the pantry and made off with some of our food supply.
Stealing from a monastery? What kind of monster would do such a thing? Come on, we gotta get that dirty thief.
Definitely. I'm sure we can capture the culprit if we work together.
Capture? What are you talking about? Why bother?
What? What were you gonna do?
This is the kind of person who would steal from a monastery. We gotta take this guy out as soon as we see him.
Are you seriously, like, advocating killing him?
How do you expect to get rid of the evil in this world if that's how you're gonna treat it?
Oh, wow. Caspar with a hardline stance.
What? I should be the one asking you that. The first thing we need to do once we've caught this person is hear what they have to say. They might have been forced into a life of theft by some awful circumstances.
You really don't get it, do you? If you let people get away with stuff like this, it's only gonna get worse.
Caspar's a advocate for the death penalty, it
If
seems.
we're gonna uphold justice, then we gotta stop evil. Simple as that.
I'm all for the rule of law, but indiscriminate slaughter isn't going to solve anything. You can't just execute someone on a wild assumption and call it justice.
And you can't just hide behind your fancy words. You have to take action.
This is an interesting philosophical debate these two are having
You know
here.
what? Forget it. There's no point in arguing this with you. We're gonna have to fight this one out.
Oh, hang on, Caspar. Don't kill Ash.
Whoever wins gets to make the plan. Got it?
What? How is fighting supposed to decide who's wrong and who's right?
Well, Caspar's phrase is might makes right.
We're not barbarians, are we? Just take it easy and we can talk this over.
We don't have time to take it easy. The thief is getting away, and all you want to do is talk and...
Hey, did you hear? Apparently they caught the thief who stole the food. All's well that ends well, right?
Oh, come on! You hear that? You just cost me my chance.
Hey, if they've already been caught, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Phew. Wow. Okay, so that's C. And we've got Caspar and Annette.
That was my worst mistake yet. Why am I so clumsy all the time? The women laughed and forgave me, but... Oh, how am I supposed to face them now?
Hey there, Annette. What's with the sour face? Everything okay? I don't think I've ever seen you look so miserable.
Don't tease me like that, Caspar. Can't you see I'm down?
Sorry. You know I didn't mean it. Did something happen? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I think talking it out might help.
I think Caspar has issues. He wants to convince others his belief or beat them. Yeah, it's kind of weird, especially considering there's the whole thing in the pre-time skip about him feeling guilty for his dad killing Petra's dad. Like, you'd think he'd be taking the opposite stance on that.
You might be right about that. Are you sure you don't mind?
Not at all.
Well, today they were short on staff in the dining hall, so I offered to help out, but I sort of messed up. Big.
How do you mess up in the dining hall?
Oh no. What happened?
All the plates in the kitchen went flying through the air, and the pots started giving off this weird blue steam.
Blue steam?
Wow, sounds more like art than cooking to me.
The people in the dining hall saw the chaos and started panicking, and then soldiers came running. All I was trying to do was help out. But in the end, I just ended up making more work for everyone. I'm awful like that.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Accidents happen. It's not like you were trying to make a mess.
I know. The women at the dining hall laughed and forgave me. But...
Was anyone hurt?
Well, no, but...
That's fine then.
Go! No need to dwell on it and keep moping around. You had a bad day, but I'm sure you'll do better tomorrow.
You know what? You're right. I guess all I can do is try harder next time. Thanks, Caspar. That really did help me feel better. I can't keep moping around. I've got to work on my cooking skills. And I can count on you to be my taste tester, right?
Oh, sorry. Annette, gotta go somewhere else.
Sure. Just as long as you're not making any new art projects.
Yeah, I'm still, like, baffled by the blue steam. Since when does steam have colour? Alright, so that's a C support. And we've got Bernie and Sylvain.
So full. That fruit plate really hit the spot. Time to get nice and snug. Maybe do some sewing.
Hey, you Bernadetta. You look pretty happy. Celebrating something?
What? No, nothing at all.
Hey, relax. It's okay if you'd rather not tell me. By the way, I believe you left something in the library. A half-written manuscript? Your own work, I presume?
What should be writing?
I was curious who it belonged to and gave it a read-through. You're a really talented writer.
How do you know it belonged to her? Like, speechless.
I'm sorry. I peeked at the first page, then the next, and I couldn't stop.
There's some weird fan fiction, you know, like Orange is the New Black.
I think it's good enough to publish. It's the kind of adventure story that will make people laugh and cry. I love how you never know what mess the hero is going to get herself into next. I'm dying to read more.
Oh, she's writing about herself.
Your mouth's hanging wide open. Bernadetta, are you okay?
Sorry, was someone talking about a story?
Oh yeah, it's all totally made up.
Yes, that would be me. I read your book.
Yes, it wasn't a diary. It wasn't a diary.
You read my book?
Yeah, and I loved it.
I'm so humiliated. Please forget everything you read.
Humiliated? No, I think the word you're looking for is humbled, because... And she's gone. Now, what do I do with this book?
Publish it. Make
He
millions.
actually read it. I regret everything. Even if I burn the pages, I can't burn his memory. Not unless I throw him in the fire, too.
Burn it all down, Bernie. Come on, live up to your name.
No, that's awful. Don't think things like that, Bernie.
Aww. That support could have very easily ended at Sylvain just saying, "Ah, she's gone." I like the fact that they added that little bit at the end there. Okay, let's go with Petra and Alois.
Alois,
Ah, who goes there? Oh, Petra, it's you. You appeared out of nowhere.
I have a question to be asking you.
Sure, I don't mind. I'll answer your question.
You are always surrounded by people. When you speak, they smile. I feel envy. I want to know the secret to having a happy conversation.
Ian says, I mean, that's what they did with Anne Frank's diary. Yeah, I guess it is, actually.
Ah, you need a lesson on breaking the ice. That's a slippery subject, but I bet we can crack it.
Puns, puns, puns. And yes, puns on the exact wrong person to pun with.
Now, let's see. Well, the crucial thing is to start conversations. Be proactive about saying hello. Ask questions. Also, it might help to stop sneaking up on people.
Start conversations. Stop sneaking. I am understanding. Is there more?
Well, you can always try throwing in a joke to lighten the mood.
Joke? What is joke?
The trick is to keep trying so you get practice. Put your best foot forward. And try not to put it in your mouth.
And Petra's going to be like, I know I'm flexible, but that's going to be difficult.
What are you saying? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I just made a little joke.
A joke? Can you give me more explanation?
She doesn't know what a joke is.
Well, put your best foot forward. That's an expression people say that means try as hard as you can. And putting your foot in your mouth doesn't really mean what it sounds like. When you put your foot in your mouth, you are saying something rude without meaning to. And so, what am I going on about?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain this kind of like slang and terminology and phrases and so on.
There's nothing worse than trying to explain a joke.
There's nothing worse?
Petra, you've gone awfully quiet. I suppose you've lost faith in me as a conversation tutor.
You are playing with your words. We do such things in Brigid, too. In Fódlan, you have a strange way of playing with a word's meaning. I am admiring of it.
You admire me? Oh, Petra, no need to say kind things out of pity. You didn't hurt my feelings.
Am I hurting them?
If you were sincerely complimenting me, then no. To think, you just started learning how to chit-chat, and you've already got a silver tongue. You really put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, come on. You just went through this thing.
More laughing. This must be a complex technique for word playing.
How many pun levels can we go? Punception. There's just baffled bemusement on Petra's face. Okay, let's go with Felix. And yep, looks like it's Felix and Ash.
I must have left it in the library. Oh, is that Felix? Hey, Felix. This is a surprise. I didn't think you had much interest in books. I'm already finished with that one. You can borrow it if you'd like.
Yeah, it's Bernie's fanfiction. It's all the rage.
No need. I was just curious who it belonged to.
Why not read a few pages at least while you've got it open? I think you'd really like it. The plot is pretty different from a typical knight's tale, but it's still really good. Do you like stories about adventure and chivalry?
No, I despise them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you tried reading any? You might find them really interesting. I know I do.
What do you find so interesting?
Well, for one thing, the knights in these stories are always gallant and brave, and they always value things like friendship, loyalty, and justice. That's the kind of knight I want to be.
Ridiculous. Friendship, loyalty, justice. Only fools allow their lives to be ruled by such nonsense.
Yeah, you're a fool, Ash.
Fools who get themselves killed for nothing. Only to be celebrated as heroes in books like this.
Psst. he's still going on about his brother that died like this.
Writers of these stories are worse than tyrants. They seize control of people's thoughts.
That's a little much. I was only interested in...
I don't care. Such blind enthusiasm is dangerous. Be more moderate in your passions.
Be more moderate? That's a weird set of advice.
You know something, Felix?
Go on, Ash. Give it to him.
You are exactly like the knight in this story.
Oh, I thought he was going to give him, like, an earful.
Excuse me?
On the surface, he's sarcastic and intimidating, but underneath, he's kind and cares for his friends. In the end, they become heroes together and conquer all obstacles.
Disgusting. Stop looking at me like that.
Oh, see, right there. That's just what I mean. You sound exactly like him. I'm going to lend you this book, really, I insist. Just give it a read, all right? Trust me, and you can tell me what you think when you're done.
Why is this happening?
Why did you pick up the book in the first place? Alright, so... a few more? Yeah, we've got loads more to do. Alright, so... Ash. You've got Ash and Mercedes.
Oh no, this isn't right. Now what am I supposed to do?
What's the matter, Mercedes?
I accidentally made this food much sweeter than I wanted.
Let me taste it. Yeah, a little sweet. What if we try adding a few spices?
Yeah, chili goes well with sweet stuff.
Huh? This is delicious. You're an amazing cook, Ash.
My dad used to own a restaurant. I helped out a lot around the kitchen, even as a little kid.
Wait, hang on. Is this his real dad or Leonardo?
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility to take on at an early age. No wonder you always work so hard. I might learn something if I watch you cook.
Well, no promises. I just have a little bit of experience, that's all. But look at you, you're great at baking cakes.
She loves them enough.
It's true that I'm quite good at baking, but I'm not the best when it comes to seasoning. Maybe it's because I don't like spicy food? It's tough to make food taste good when you don't enjoy it. I just had an idea. If the reason I can't cook spicy food is because I don't like it, then all I have to do is eat some spicy food. If I learn to like it, then I'll be better at making it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's how that works. Jan asks, Rob, do you remember playing that party game on the PS4 with fans? I was wondering if you're planning on doing it again. I think you're referring to Jackbox, right? And yeah, I've been thinking about when the next time for us to play that kind of game is. The funny thing is that the more Jackboxes that have come out, the more they're kind of focused on people being in the room with you for some of them. Like, there's some where you have to make physical hand gestures and, you know, you have to look at the people in the room with you. So they don't really work too well with Twitch streaming, even though they do have Twitch streaming modes now. But yeah, we'll have a think about, you know, the next time we play Jackbox. Because I know Jackbox Party Pack 6 came out fairly recently.
I don't know, maybe. What makes you say that?
No. None of that matters. Once I've made a decision, I have to go with it. I'll make something spicy right away.
Oh, this won't end well. If I leave her to it, she'll make an even bigger mess.
Hey, Ash, which seasonings should I use? These ones?
Hold on, Mercedes. Let me show you. That one goes best with meat, but for stir-fry, what you really want is this.
Yeah, it's nice that they get the whole cooking lesson thing going on. Okay. And we've got Ash and Annette, because we can't do Marianne.
Oh, Ash, are you here to study too?
I am. It's quiet here. Easier to concentrate.
It really is. Hey, would you like to study together? We can help each other out if we get stuck.
Oh, yes. We'll get a lot more done working together.
Study buddies!
What's the matter, Ash?
This question's got me stumped. A ballista inside a castle is ready to fire at enemies outside. What angle should be used for the shot?
Depends on where they're standing.
Assume the ballista is the same as those in Garegg Mach. Ignore the effects of wind. This is for defensive strategy, isn't it? Why is it so complicated? Don't you just aim and fire?
It it may help to focus on maximizing target accuracy to reduce your miss rate. This is important stuff. This math will be useful on the battlefield one day.
Yeah, I guess we do have a ballista in Garegg Mach. And Ash looks like my OC Clover he likes to cook too. Oh, that's nice.
To start, let's sort out the setup. Let's see. Using these ballista specifications, if the ballista corals follow this trajectory, they'll hit the enemy lines, right?
Oh, that makes sense, because the enemy line will be here.
That's it! Okay, now try using that same technique and applying it to this other problem.
If the walls are this high and the enemy lines are at that distance... Oh, I think I see!
I knew you'd get it.
Wow, I didn't expect math of all things to be useful in a siege. This is tough. Numbers are not my strong suit. But this really is the sort of thing you have to know if you want to command troops.
That's true, but not everyone is good with numbers. That's why we have tacticians do these calculations for us, or prepare them before we go to battle.
Or just use Divine Pulse to do it by trial and error.
A century ago, the Empire's mathematicians played a huge role in the Battle of the Wall of Fódlan.
I had no idea. Hey, you really know what you're doing, Annette.
You think so?
Definitely. You've obviously done a lot of studying. I really admire that.
I suppose I have. Studying is a necessity if you want the advantage over your enemies. But necessity aside, it's nice to hear you say that.
Oh, she's blushing. Okay, so that was Ash and Net. Next we have Sylvain and Mercedes.